Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, underneath my 1961 Corvair. I'm decided to do a quick video shoot of what it is I had a question about, and instead of just taking some pictures. And if you're a Corvair expert, the first thing you're saying is, that's not a 1961 because they didn't have a transverse spring on the back. Well, back in the 1970s, when my dad did this car over, he decided he wanted it to be as safe as possible. So he decided he would try to do everything he could to make the car safe for me, as it was going to be a first car. And he decided he wanted to put the transverse spring on it. So we had to find the correct transaxle, which has this special cradle on it. And again, it's very possible that I don't have all my facts straight. I'm just going from memory, and we know how that goes. And the other part that was always a question mark was, what was the difference between these swing arms, the coil over springs, and the shocks? Something had to make them different in order to make this spring work. Or, as so many people have told me, the spring was just a quick fix in 1964 to make somebody named Ralph Nader happy. So I don't know if it really does any difference, or if it keeps the wheels from folding in if you get the car airborne, or what the deal is. But the bottom line is, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I'm here to say, okay, here's what the spring looks like. As you can see, it's got all kinds of extra rubber bushings and stuff, and I'm sure the people looking closely are going to immediately point out for a few things. First of all, obviously it's a little wet under here, but it doesn't surprise me for a car that hasn't been sealed or anything done to it basically in 30 years. And it's got a little weeping going on here with the transaxle, but it could be, I think they leak around the shifter shaft sometimes. I think they leak around the reverse switch sometimes. And I think that's a 65 transmission. I could be wrong. I'm sure that the experts will chime in and let me know. But I do know that's a 64 transaxle. And on the side of it right there is a panel that tells you what the numbers are that gives you the gear ratio, I believe, which I'm going to look up in just a second. I can't see it from where I am. It's giving me a pretty good shot of it. Probably you guys can see it better than me. It looks like it's a HJ10 something. HJ10. Can't tell the number on the end. I'll be able to tell when I look at this video later. But that is the number. That's the place where it is. And this has got a 140 in it. And it's got sort of distractors on it. And you can tell a lot from this video. This is this was a very well enjoyed car. My dad never did much when it came to the underneath of these cars. As you can see, somebody jacked it up wrong more than once. I gotta get that fixed. It's not rotted out. There isn't any really rust on this car that isn't anything so we can straighten out. I can't believe how they freaking lifted this car up wrong. There's the pad. That's where they lifted it. So at least it's not rotted out. That can be fixed. I'm not even sure if it has to be fixed. I think for show purposes it does, but functionality-wise, I don't know. I'll let the guys that know it all chime in. But otherwise, she's very solid underneath. And she's weeping a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. So I'm going to try to keep this video under 5 minutes. And I am going to share it on YouTube. We definitely need some bushings and stuff are dried out. But, like my dad used to say, I can fix everything except rust. And even though Dad could fix rust, it's a never-ending battle. It's like cancer. But otherwise, she's pretty good under here. Just a little bit wet and a whole lot of undercoat. Dad was crazy with the spray undercoat. And, well, here we are all these years later. Hope this video helped you.